Thank you for coming to listen for a moment. This is Most Julius here with YAG Radio. Want to do a quick video called "We Wrestle Not Against Flesh." So we're going to get right into it. Starting with Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So, the first thing this scripture is telling us is that we are not fighting against flesh. This is not a physical fight between people. But the first thing we are fighting against is the principalities. And automatically you would think the principles, but the principalities, tracing to Latin principatus, also translated as princedoms and rulers from the Greek archai, and this means are the angels that guide and protect nations. So this is definitely deep, real, very, very deep. Again, are the angels that guide and protect nations is what this breaks down into. So I mean, you can definitely Google this, and it's in multiple sites. It's all the same what it actually translates down to. But let me see here. Okay, so this is really deep. The difference between praying and like praying from the carnal mind and meditating, from actually having guidance from the angels. And we'll explain this in just a moment. So let's start with Hebrew 10 and 16. This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds I will write them. So this is what you will receive in meditation. Now, angels of God, God is not man, God is light. So look at angels of God as angles of light, which are photons. And I have another video that I have went into what photons are in more depth, but I'll definitely be doing more as well. And I'll post it in the actual comments. But both are messenger particles. So let's look at Psalms 119 and 105. It says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." And again, remember the angels that guide and protect nations. And we have one more verse that shows this is enlightenment with Psalms 119 and 130. "The entrance of thy words giveth light, and it giveth understanding unto the simple." So, all right, so we went over the first thing that we are fighting against. The next thing that we are fighting against, it says, is the power. So let's start with Romans 13 and 1. It says, "Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that are ordained of God." So I want you, if you have not, to look at a video I have called "Hands in the Mental Crucifixion." And this will break down to you what lift your hands in the sanctuary means. This is lifting your metaphysical hands, not your physical hands. And your metaphysical hand is your power and your ability. So this is a fight to lift the consciousness in the world and a fight to lift the consciousness within yourself. So this is what the power is, fighting against the power. So against the ruler of the darkness of the world, this is starting with us as the world, using us as the world. These are your thoughts and desires of the carnal mind leading you. And the world as a whole, the rulers of the darkness of the world as a whole are your religious groups, the governments, and major corporations. So let's take a look at the last thing that we are fighting against, and this is spiritual wickedness in high places. And this is definitely the same thing as the rulers of the darkness, but the religious leaders are the perfect example of this, and also used by Jesus in the actual Bible. Let's take a look at Matthew 23 and 15. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves." So let's break this down. And to compass, compass or compass, it says this is what it's to surround. So, all right, so it's first we're using the word compass is to surround, and it says compass sea and land to make one proselyte. And sea, if you go to Jonah 1 and 15, it says the sea ceased from her raging. So this was using your emotions. This was talking about the emotions. And you can go to, I'll post the link to that video as well to show you that the sea was meant to use as a symbol of emotions. So again, compass is surrounding. So they're surrounding you with the sea, the emotions, the sea and the land is the body, and proselyte is to convert you. So basically, what it's saying is that when they are converting you to this religion, they are teaching you to be driven by your emotions, and that's exactly what this means. You can look everything up. This is they're teaching you to use your carnal mind to speak and worship God. So this is nothing but an emotional nature. And what does Jesus say? And ye make him twofold more than the child of hell yourselves. So this is the evil that we are fighting against. I appreciate you listening. This is Most Julius with YAG Radio. Please like and subscribe to the video. Please comment your thoughts and opinions. I'll be back with more later on.